So I seen this pop up on my Twitter feed, and I'm not even gonna lie, this joint right here had me reminiscing. So what you're taking a look at here is the Jordan Ultimate Gift of Flight Pack, which, as you see from the tweet, this actually dropped back in 2014, which I remember this release specifically because this actually dropped at the same time that we saw the Jordan 11 Legend Blue release, which happens to be this holiday's annual Jordan 11 release. And if you take things back 10 years ago to 2014, if you would have asked me what my favorite Jordan retro model, I would have told you undisputedly the Jordan 11, which I remember back at that time I did pick up the Legend Blues. As far as my collection, I remember I had the Space Jams, the Bread 11s, the Cool Gray, the Gamma Blue, plus whatever other Jordan 11s dropped at that time. I think that's it. But as far as the 11, absolutely loved them. But now 10 years later, here in 2024, I would say them joints not really hitting the same, but of course they always will have a legacy, will always be legendary, and one of the greatest Jordan retros of all time. But as far as this pack right here, I remember this one right here, which actually, after looking it up, these joints did retail at $500. So it included the Jordan 11 Pantone as well as the Jordan 29. And you guys already know, people that grabbed these, they were looking to keep the Pantone 11s for themselves because them joints were super hot, like super exclusive back then if you had those at the time. But trying to, of course, resell, flip, the 29s, which you already know how it goes. Now, I believe Jordan did also drop the 11s as a standalone release, which after checking them out, did retail at $250, which was wild. But as I mentioned, people were going for crazy for 11s back in the day. So after taking a look at this pack and kind of reminiscing, if y'all recall, like a few years prior to this, Jordan Brand was putting out a whole bunch of different retro packs, numbers that added up to equal 23. So with all of that being said, do you feel like it's time for Nike to bring a little fun back to the mix? Do you feel like Jordan Brand should bring back those retro packs that we saw drop back? I want to say it was like, what, 2008 or something like that? So you're watching John Alexander TV. Salute to you for tuning in. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Now we're going to take things back all the way to 2008. What a time to be alive, because Jordan Brand, they were absolutely killing it with these countdown packs. Now, as you guys see, you got various retro models. The whole kind of theme towards this release was that each of these numbers would add up to 23, which at the time, I want to say the Jordan 22 just debuted. So as you guys see right here with this first pack, you have the Jordan 1 included here with the Jordan 22, which adds up to 23. Now, at the time, I'm not even gonna lie, if you take it back to 2008, I'm gonna be real with y'all, the Jordan 1 was nowhere as popular as it was, say, in later dates like 2016 to 2020. So I would say, as far as this pack right here, this was one of the ones that was a little more under the radar. At the time, I would say the 22s was a release that pretty much nobody was checking for. Now, as far as this pack right here, where you got the Jordan 2 featured with the Jordan 21, again, one of the more under the radar packs, because Jordan 2s notoriously have been one of the more like underappreciated Jordan retros. And again, the 21s, I would say most people weren't really checking for them. But I believe this bread colorway was actually exclusive to that package. Now, this next one right here, you got the Jordan 3 Classic Black Cements, which we just saw actually drop, return again, mixed up with the Jordan 20, which I would say when the Jordan 20 first hit, people were rocking with it. I feel like that's one of these Jordan releases which dropped after MJ's playing days that people were gravitating towards. I remember them being like super futuristic when they dropped. So I would say this pack was definitely one that people were rocking with. And I feel like them black 20s were also exclusive to that pack as well. Now, next up, we got the Jordan 4s paired up with the 19s, which this is a great one. Two bread colorways. 19s were okay. They got the patent leather on there, kind of taking some elements from some previous Jordan retros. And then you guys already know what time it is with these bread 4s right here. Now, for this next pack, we got the Jordan 5s paired up with the 17s. Again, a nice bread colorway of the 17s, pictured here with the classic fire red Jordan 5s. Now, for the next pack, we got the 6s paired up with the 16s right here, which, as far as these Carmines, I would say this is one of those releases which back in the day people were rocking with, but I feel like over time definitely became more of like a cult classic, sharing some of that similar color blocking to the Olympic 6s. And then we got the Jordan 8s paired up here with the 15s, which I'm not even gonna lie, when it comes to the Jordan 15s, people always look at them joints as like boats, and I feel like are now only starting to kind of get some love. So a nice bread colorway, which again, I want to say that pair of 15s could be exclusive to that pack. And then of course we got the biggest one right here, the Jordan 11 paired up with the 12s, and not just any pair of 12s. You got the OG Taxis, a good pair of Bred 11s. As far as all of the packs, this is the one that people were most hyped about. And as you already know, these joints are reselling for crazy. So 2008, what a time to be alive. I believe we're missing one of the packs here, which after running through them, I can't really point a finger on which one it is specifically, but comment down below. But man, these packs were crazy. I remember back in 2008, I was just dreaming of being able to grab a pair of these. At this time, I was kind of like on my black Air Force One type of energy, if you guys know what I'm saying. So I was just window shopping, just only dreaming to be able to grab a pair of these packs. So man, Jordan Brand, what a time to be alive. Do you guys feel like Jordan Brand should bring these packs back? So 2008, man, what a great time to be alive. And if you recall back then, of course, Jordan Brand wasn't putting out the same amount of releases that they are nowadays. Back then, as far as Jordan releases, because there was just a lot less, you know, each drop had such a bigger impact. And I feel like with them dropping these countdown packs, it was a great way for people to kind of like get into collecting, or maybe even catch up on a lot of pairs they missed out on throughout the year. So many OGs, so many classics dropped in that pack, which gave people opportunity to really like kind of get into this whole shoe collecting thing, which if you recall back then, of course, sneakers wasn't like how it was. You know, now you got so much coverage, whether it's through YouTube or through these various social media platforms or sneaker blogs and everything like that. Back then, sneaker coverage was pretty much reduced to just people logging into Nike.talk.com to kind of just chat about sneakers and stuff like that. So if you know, you know. So as far as Jordan Brand bringing back these countdown packs, nowadays it feels like there's like 10, 20 Jordan releases each week. So as far as people picking up each pair, they're kind of like falling back, picking and choosing, like just going for the ones that they want the most, the classics, the ones that people have most nostalgia for. So if Jordan Brand was to bring back these packs, I think although people aren't really buying up every single Jordan release like they used to be, I think these packs would bring some excitement back to the game, because remember, you got classics mixed in with some pairs that maybe you might not have grabbed, but pairing them up with a classic OG release will kind of, you know, bring some attention to some of those other more underappreciated silhouettes. Plus, we've been seeing Jordan Brand dropping 1 through 14 for so long. It's time to usher in that new wave. They gave us a little teaser by dropping some of those 17 lows this year, but I think that would be a cool way to maybe usher in a new wave of Jordan retros, models 15 and up. So let me know what y'all think, man. Some of them countdown packs went crazy. As I mentioned, that 11 and 12 one must have been, in my opinion, the most iconic. I don't know if my take on what was going on back then differs from yours, but to me, I felt like models like the Jordan 1, 2 were a lot more under the radar, while Jordan retros such as like the 11, 13, 12s, 14s got a lot more love back then. So it's kind of changed now. It feels like the older models get a lot more love, and some of those 10 through 14 are a little more underappreciated nowadays. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But as what I think for Jordan Brand, I'm kind of tired of just seeing the same old pairs. But you know, I'm an OG, so I've been buying these joints up for years. So I'm ready to see retros 15 and up start to come into play. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. I think dropping them packs would be a really cool way to do it. And they could even mix things up with the packs, you know, throw in some reimagined pairs. Who knows? They could get real crazy with it. But I think it's just a fun way to spice things up. And who's complaining when they're dropping more classic Jordans?